Good day and welcome to another edition of Game Time with Marco. Thank you very much for tuning in our previous episodes that featured the magnet Ronnie Canalelo. And also thank you for watching other podcasts that are coming from a new era. And please like our page, please comment, please subscribe, and make sure that you share with your friends and family. Today it's another day, and we do have another guest as well. That is a former football player himself, a businessman of note, and he is the current chairperson of the most successful club in the country, one of the biggest, if not the biggest clubs in this particular country, that is a Black Africa Sports Club. Mr. Thomas Adams, thank you for joining us and welcome to the podcast.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Marco, for inviting me. I think it was long overdue.
Yes, quite long. Yeah, it's been quite long, but we just let you first finish the season and settle down and take stock of what has been happening and then come back to us. Just to start off the conversation, give us a brief background of yourself in relation to Black Africa.
Black Africa is a team that I joined at Independence. I was still a student in Arandis. There in the Erongo region. I matriculated there at the dawn of independence. Then I came to Windhoek, started working for government for 2 years. And then in the meantime, I was also playing for Black Africa. But how did I come to Black Africa? A former stalwart and legend by the name of Lucky Bonstander, he brought me to this team. Because I was probably a star in that neck of the woods, so he thought it fit to bring me to Black Africa. And that's how I came to this beautiful team.
Yeah. So, growing up, which team were you supporting?
Growing up, I was always supporting Black Africa because Black Africa was also part of our liberation struggle. And that's the side of Black Africa that some probably don't know. And me being a very active young student politician, because I was also part of the NANSO structures in the West, and I was also the spokesperson for that matter in Arandis. So naturally, you would lean towards something that was also part of your mindset. So Black Africa fit that. And also the beautiful football that they played at the time really attracted me.
Beautiful ball indeed that Black Africa used to play. And this year, in fact, the past few years has been tough for Black Africa. Diving straight into it, they've been tough. And a lot of people who follow Black Africa did not have that opportunity to enjoy, what they are used to enjoying. I remember there was a time, I think they are the only club in the country to win 4 titles in a row. They've won 10 league titles. They're up there. Nobody, I think, has a chance to catch them within the next few years. They've produced quality players. If you spoke about the steward right now, Lucky, and the 2 Luckies, the Lolos, counting them will be a waste of time because there are so many, there are a lot of them. So, the past few years have been a problem. And finally this year, the High Court in February delivered a verdict, and that verdict favored you as the chairperson of Black Africa together with your management committee. How difficult has it been a year or two for Black Africa?
Marco, the Black Africa story since 2019 is not a beautiful story, even though it did not match the football brand for which we became known for. But since then, it's especially at the time of the handover of Master Ranga, Aikali, the handover back to the community. That's where this whole ruckus around Black Africa started. And it's really sorry that we have come to this point. And
maybe before you continue, what happened there in that handover? Give us what really happened there.
Okay, what happened is that then I must take you back to
Please do.
Ranga got the team. And I can proudly say that I was part of the group of people that gave this team on a particular Wednesday. There was this Namibia Brewers breweries. They were also having a shop or depot at the big shops in Kadatura. And we handed the team to Ranga, because before that there was also financial challenges, to run the club. So Ranga came after having been approached by the Exco at the time. So they came, and he came, and then there was a declaration from him that he will take the team, and everything and all expenses would be covered by him.
Yeah.
So that's where the success also came. The 4 uninterrupted or consecutively league titles that we won. It was during the period of Ranga. Yeah. So in Namibia, what we must know is that resources are a big challenge.
So when now Ranga has the team, it's successful and everything is going smoothly. Comes 2019, he has to go and contest the presidency of the NFA. Now that means he has to resign from being chairman of the team and hand it back. What then happened there?
Yes, he had to resign. A gentleman he is. He resigned unconditionally, and in his handover, somebody unfortunately had to take responsibility, like in all institutions. Somebody must take responsibility, but it does not say it's your team or it is your company or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that there was a misunderstanding by the person that took over. He thought that the team now belongs to him, and even went further as trying to do things that are not conducive. But nevertheless, and Ranga explicitly said that this team must be handed back to the community, and AGM must be held as quickly as possible. An interim committee, must be established. And then from there, the team ought to have, had its AGM to be run smoothly. That unfortunately did not happen. I think that at the time, at the handover time, the idea was good, because I was also approached to serve on this interim committee.
Did you accept?
I was in between, because at the time it was not clear. It was not clear because some of these things you smell them from far. Yeah, and I smell it. Right? Yeah.
They always say trust your gut.
Yes. I trusted my guts, and I'm happy that today I trusted it then, my instinct then, and I was proven right.
Who was the club given to?
It was given to Boni Polino.
Boni Polino, okay.
Yes.
And then from there now, without now the establishment of an interim committee and the running of a congress or the holding of a congress, where did it put Black Africa?
No, an interim committee was established.
Okay.
Yeah, Boni did establish an interim committee. And I think that under correction he had 5 or 6 members in this interim committee. And this interim committee, in my view, thought that they are now the owners of this team,
the club,
of the club, and that's where the problem started, because it should have been under the ownership of the community. The interim committee, like the word it says, is just a temporary arrangement up to the AGM. Yes, but then there were always delays, and these delays, in my view, it was just cosmetic. They did not have any idea of trying to set up an AGM.
So they just wanted to keep the power.
That's when another group started under the leadership of the late Lucky Richter, and we called them the working committee. The working committee convened a meeting, advertised this meeting. It was a meeting that was held in the Holy Redeemer Catholic Church in Kadatura. A committee was elected, a working committee was elected. Now this working committee, what they basically did, they did what the interim committee ought to have done, to set up structures towards the holding of an AGM.
And that did not sit well with the other, the interim committee.
No, it did not sit well. And Marco, the one thing that you must also remember, at the time, there was also this, forever fights in football. It was now, the interim committee were aligned to a certain individual that also wanted to be a president of this country. And the working committee did not support that candidate. So that's how this whole thing got a little bit entangled.
It gets complicated.
Yes.
But we'll entangle it there. We'll disentangle it there.
Please.
Yeah. Now those fights are now starting. Obviously, they start small.
Yes.
You start small, and somehow somebody picks it up. When you picked up that there were fights, what was your stance?
No, I supported the working committee because they were.
Did they approach you?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They did approach me, and I liked the way they wanted to do things, the vision that they had for the team at the time. So that's why I supported me and others. We supported the working committee.
So when did the working committee take over? Because later on, Lucky Richter became president. When did they take over?
The working committee, the mandate that the supporters gave to the working committee, and just to remind you that the working committee did not have secret meetings. They went to Khobabis in Omaheke. They went to Ochiwarongo in Ojothenyupa. They went to Swakopmund in the Erongo. That's where you would traditionally get supporters. Yeah. So they went to these places. They shared their vision. The supporters there were happy with what they brought to the table.
And then when did they take over now? After those meetings?
The working committee?
Yes.
Yeah. Go back to Holy Redeemer Church.
Yeah.
There was a supporters meeting, a working committee was established, a committee was then elected. Now this committee got the mandate to run the club. To run the club. And that's what they did.
But where did it put now the interim committee?
The interim committee, they were having their own fights there, and by then we were not distracted by what they were trying to say. We just had one vision. We did not want to be involved in politics, this football politics. We wanted Black Africa to play,
and Black Africa did play.
Yes,
and unfortunately they got relegated, which we'll come to later.
Yes,
these fights that were happening between the interim committee and the working group, how did they then affect the football on the pitch?
The working committee established, as elected and established, they were now basically in charge of the team.
Yes.
Yes. And then there was also, you must remember that there was also a normalization committee.
Yes.
A FIFA appointed one. So
led by BC.
No, not by BC.
Or by Hilda Passan.
By Meme Hilda.
Yeah.
Yes. So that working committee started working with this NC. And Cosmos Frango,
yes,
my dear brother, he was now also part of. I think he was the vice
of the yes.
But then he was later appointed as the Secretary
General. Yes.
Yes. So, but then the NPF or the NPL, our league, it was also in a mess.
Yeah, it was
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was an interim league, and all teams had to register with this league to be part of the league. The most logic thing to do then was to have a constitution. That's where how I supported the working committee, because they did everything to bring all structures
in life.
And we went to Reboth after having been advertising our meeting that would take place in Reboth. The Reboth meeting was a meeting that was organized by the working committee. Yes.
And elections were held in Reboth.
Elections were held in Reboth.
Yeah. And
democratic elections for that matter.
Yes.
Because I think that it was also the time during the national elections. Yes.
So that Reboth meeting then elects a committee. Who were members of those committee that you elected?
It was Lucky
as the chairperson.
as the chairperson. We had
D. Nyoma
D. Nyoma
as a vice, I think.
Yes, I think he was the second vice.
Yeah.
Ingrid Louis
Was the first vice.
Was the first vice. I was part of the exco.
Exco, yeah.
Jason Kurira, the late advocate from Walvis Bay, Shakespeare.
Yes.
Shakespeare Masiza.
Yes.
I'm just Ms. Drali Titus,
So those are 7, I think.
Mr. Jimmy Julie. I think we were about 9 under correction.
All right.
Yeah, it happened a long time, and in the meantime, we had these
All these
unnecessary
stuff.
fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now the 9 are elected into to take charge of the team. That is in Rioport. I think it was 2019.
No, 2020.
2020. Yeah.
Yes.
What then comes up after that?
We were now put in charge. As the democratically elected.
The interim committee has accepted defeat and they've moved on.
I don't think that they have.
They accepted.
I don't think they have accepted.
But we didn't hear-
Cassius Mweti was also part, and then Albert, Mr. Albert was also part of the working committee, and Albert also came in to our exco. Yeah, Cassius did not make it to our committee.
Okay.
Yes.
But now, because we did not, why I'm saying the interim committee had moved on, we did not hear anything from them at that time. Maybe behind the back they were whispering, but in the media we did not hear anything.
Yeah, no, they were making everything difficult and impossible for us
To run the club.
to run the club.
Things like what?
They would go and talk to players, so that basically influence the players. And everything. Imagine, Marco, you claim to be from this team called Black Africa, but then you are fighting Black Africa. What the hell is that?
Good question. So now they're influencing players, but did they give you things like the pass, the uniforms, any property that belonged to Black Africa?
Yes, we got them. Yeah, we got them, but it was also not easy to get them.
You had to go through the courts.
No, then it did not go through the courts.
Okay.
Yeah, but we got them, and we played that season. I think we were relegated the next season.
Yes.
Yeah, it was not in the first season. Yeah. During the Cosmos League. Yeah.
And then now the normalization committee goes, and Ranga is elected as president.
Yes.
I would have thought, he has a soft spot for this team, and he should be guiding the team on what to do. He's the man at the top. Did he offer any help in that direction? He was not obliged, but I believe.
No, I think that Ranga, in my view, is an honest man, a man of integrity, a professional, and he would not want to be seen as interfering in the matters of the club, since he trusted the people that he gave the club to. So he kept a distance, which was not wrong.
Would had he been involved, would the outcome been different?
Maybe. Yeah, in retrospect, if you look at it, maybe. Yeah, because he could have used his influence, but I see it's just been difficult.
Yeah. Now the second season comes, Black Africa plays and they get relegated.
Yes.
Problem starts.
So
what happens now after the relegation of Black Africa? Because from what I was told was that the committee under your leadership, following the passing away of Lucky Richter, may his soul rest in peace, Dean Yoma took over briefly, and then he resigned. Also, I think the pressure got into him.
Yes.
He has a lot of things that are going on around his life. What happened after the resignation of Dean Yoma? Who took over?
After D, Ingrid took over. Yeah, Ingrid Louis, she took over, and then after we got relegated, she jumped ship.
She left
She
the
left.
committee.
She left us here and she went to the other side.
Wow.
Imagine.
Okay.
Yes, I was just talking about integrity. So
Yeah, but then now, after the relegation now, the problems, that's where the problem started, but nobody really knows where the problem started. There is a school of thought that your executive committee went to Boni Paulino's executive committee and said, or whatever group, and said, look, let's sit down. Let's all sit on the table and let's figure out a way out for this team.
let me put that into perspective and maybe put it to rest. What happened is that it just boils down to your earlier question about the involvement of the interim committee. They were always involved behind the scenes. And they were basically playing very, very dirty against us. But we kept our cool because we thought that there's something that ought to be done. We must save this team. What happened is that since we were in charge at the time, the team was relegated. But our mandate constitutionally was still in force. We thought it fit because they were now. It's like go to the devil, you know. They were known who they were. We from us asked a member of us to engage them.
Yes.
To engage them, to look at the path of reconciliation, because the fights were always going on behind the scenes. Some of them are known to you, probably some are not, but it was not good fights.
Yeah. So when that member goes to engage them, what is the discussion is centered only on reconciliation, not handing over the club to them?
Not handing over, and that's where the problem starts, because it was a very thin line. Go open the door for reconciliation. Yeah.
So what did, from your side, what did that reconciliation mean? Did it mean that we get 4 guys from this executive committee and 4 guys from this one and we bring them together? Or it meant that, guys, let's not fight. Let's talk, face to face. Let's try and figure a way for this team to go back to its glory days.
We were trying to look at ways how to get our team back to where it belongs. That's the discussion that we should have had, would have had. It never happened. Now they saw our approach as a weakness, and that was their biggest mistake that they made. They saw it as a weakness. Now we got them where we wanted, because they've been fighting us for the past 4 years. Now finally they are on their knees. So they come back running to us. Now we will show them.
Okay.
So they grabbed that opportunity and had a whole total spin around the whole issue, which was not true. So I'm sitting here telling you the truth, putting things into perspective to say that it is true, but it was about reconciliation, not about taking over, not about suspending the constitution. No, it was not about that.
But then that engagement, I think Black Africa came out with 2 constitutions.
That's exactly the confusion that they were trying to create, this spinning that I was trying to say that.
Okay.
So they grabbed this opportunity. They elected amongst themselves committees there, and we were just standing there and watching and say that, goodness, what is going on here?
Did you try and stop them?
We tried. One member of us, even on the day of the AGM, this purported AGM of them, a member of us went to them on the Saturday morning to ask them, what meeting is this? Is it an AGM? Is it an information sharing meeting? No. It's an election. We're having election today. So the member left. And that member is Lolo. Lolo was there. To ask them, what is going on here? No, we are having an elective AGM. Elective AGM. How can you have an elective AGM while there is another elected group? So it was this big brother or big whatever mentality that they were having.
Okay.
Yeah, and they, and I will still say, they saw it as a weakness and in their approach, and they paid dearly for that.
Now they've
Ashamedly.
they've elected another committee, and then now the court cases start coming in as well.
Yes. Now, by now, everybody in this country knows that who took who to court. Imagine the audacity. They took us to court. Us that is still mandated to be in charge of the team. They took us to court. And we say the biggest mistake of their lives. I don't know who advised them. Biggest mistake ever concerning Black Africa in their lives. They took us to court. We just said, thank you, God. Finally, we will put this thing to rest. Yeah, and it was flying all over social media that we will see. I don't know why people saw this as a competition between the two groups. It was really low of them to take us to court. They took us to court.
So you would have rather preferred them to come on the table and talk to you?
Before that, Marco, there were interventions. There were, even me, I tried to talk to them. I have a very good relationship with some of them. Some of them, we grew up together in Arandis, like Brownie Motrifa and Albert then. We know each other very well. But it was so disappointing the way they started, doing things. But I just stayed because I knew that if I keep my cool, our cool, if we keep our cool, we will stay the course. They took us to court.
But we'll come to the court case.
Okay.
Now the season starts. And the FIFA Connect, there is money that you need to pay to register players. I think it's 8,000 or 7,000 Namibian dollars. I'm not sure. The information that I got is that Boni Paulino paid the money to register players, but then you guys went to register your players under that.
They must say why they went and paid, while they knew that they were not supposed to do that. They were not in charge of the team. Yeah. There was an executive at the time of relegation.
Yes.
There was an executive. And that executive did not come out and say that, no, we are no longer part of this. Whoever wants to take the team, go. There's the team. I don't know why they were so much in a hurry.
Oh, so you guys, when you went to register the players, you found the money paid and said, oh, the money is paid, okay.
Yeah, but as it is correct, we paid our part because it is expected from us.
So did BA pay twice? Because Boni Paulino's function paid.
Now that's why I'm saying, why did they go and pay?
No, before I answer that one, or they answer that one, I can't answer it for them.
Okay.
You are saying you also paid your part?
No, we paid.
Your part at NFA?
Yeah, we did.
So NFA got money twice?
We paid our part. I heard that the other ones paid, and that's why I'm asking, why did they go and pay? I did not see that they paid, but we paid our part.
Interesting. It's really interesting because now it looks like NFA got fees for the E-Connect twice from two different groups. Now over 50 players.
If that happened, that's for the NFA to answer.
Yes. We'll definitely take them to task on that.
No, I don't have any mandate to talk on behalf
of them. I do understand.
Yeah, I respect them. That's their territory.
Yeah, we'll take them to task as soon as we confirm that also the Boni Paulino function also paid. Now. The season starts and it's chaos. We see pictures flying over social media of people sitting on the pitch itself. We see two teams wearing the traditional Black Africa colors warming up. We see two captains from one team going to toss with one captain from the opposition team.
You see, Margot, I've never dreamed of a day like that one, that I would see something like that, so stupid, happen on Black Africa's part. Usually those type of things happened in the 80s, on these gravel fields and so on. It happened there.
Not at the Premier elite league.
And especially not at an institution like Black Africa. You see, my colleagues from the other side, they are so mean. That's why I said earlier that they were trying everything in whatever they have to make us look bad. Imagine. They know that they were not in charge. They know. But they went ahead to cause chaos in the name of Black Africa. Now, and I said it then, and I'm still saying it today. Those that did that, they are not Black Africa supporters. Because Black Africa supporters don't behave in such fashion. There are these new young people running around here, trying to be activists, and they think that whatever comes up, it must just be a total shutdown. Where will you get with a mindset like that? You get out onto a field and you go and stop a football match. What artificial power is that? What happened afterwards? You know, when the dust settled, what happened? It just showed who they are. And that is why I said, and I was taken to task by some people when I said that, but we don't know those people. Yeah, because Black Africa has been known as a team of integrity. There was always this joke flying around when I was playing, or at least my generation, to say that, man, if you are not educated, you cannot play for Black Africa. Yeah, it was an unofficial, joke flying around. Yeah. Now, if you come and you support a team known for discipline and for having educated people, and you are exposing yourself like that, that borders on hooliganism, and that apparently does not sit well with some people when I say that. And I still maintain it is not Black Africa supporters that did that. They are unknown to us, because Black Africa supporters don't behave like that. Never, ever. That is hooliganism.
As the chairperson or the president of the club at that point in time, what went through your mind?
I was embarrassed. Honestly, I was embarrassed to see those pictures. I was not live at the game. I was not there, but of course I saw and I got the reports, and I was totally disgusted about that. That's just plain bad behavior. That's not how supporters go about it. Yeah, it's not like football, and you want to come and strike. What is that? People want to see football. The people want to see people on the field.
So with those two Black Africa teams that were there, what would you have preferred to happen on that particular day?
I would have preferred our team that was duly registered and had the players' cards and everything that you needed
for the match.
That is why the match officials went to the change room, called out people by name, saw that they are registered, and they were allowed to get out on the field. That's the most logical thing to have happened. Now, if match officials are not going to you, what are you doing on the field?
Since like that happened, did you try and engage those supporters, which of course now you've said they are not Black Africa supporters, but obviously they are coming and soiling the name of Black Africa? Was there any sort of trying to sort of engage and warn them? And
we did, we did try to engage them, but if it was my wish, I would not have engaged them. But I am part of a collective. Yeah, and you can't take in an organization, in an institution like Black Africa, unilateral decisions.
Yeah,
you respect the collective.
Yeah. With the crisis like that, Did you see it necessary, or did you deem it necessary to call the other function and say, listen, guys, this is embarrassing the club, it's embarrassing our names, can we sort it out?
Ish. You know, when you talk to a kid that is spoiled, a spoiled brat, you know, he will always try to call a ruckus, you know, lie on the ground and, you know, and roll and roll and roll, you know, that, then you know that this kid it doesn't have discipline. Yeah, it reminded me of you know, those kids, yeah, that they don't have discipline at all. So and it just shows the level of indiscipline that you are having, and from where you are coming, because you cannot go there and go and spoil something so beautiful. Football is known as the beautiful game. Yes. Now you go and spoil that, and then you think that now I'm a macho man. I've made a point. You see. Do you really want to do something that is uncalled for, just to come and say that, you see, I told you. What did you get right? Nothing. You just exposed your ill discipline. That's just what you did.
And then the following weekend again, the same thing happens, and the bus is, I don't know if it was confiscated or it was taken by the right person who was supposed to take it. The players struggled to get back home after another match was, cancelled.
Marco, where's the bus now? The bus is in our possession, where it belongs. Now, sometimes if you must also read situations. If things like that happen, unnecessarily, unruly things happen, then you look at it and let it be. And let it be, but you know what you know. You know that you are right. Some people like, you know, these crowd-pleasing antics. They want to please the crowd, to say that, yeah, you saw we took the bus. You saw the team did not play. We got the bus, we played. So what help you? Now you are sitting with an issue that people are saying that, that one, just making noise. And even some of these people, can you imagine, I'm seeing them for the first time. The biggest supporters of them all. Yeah, and imagine young people, they are still so young. They can still get out onto the field and go and play. Still young guys doing these things. Yes.
If you are just joining us, we are talking to Mr. Tommy Adams, who is the chairperson of Black Africa Sports Club, the team that has found itself on the wrong side of the news in the past year or two. And we're just trying to get the gist of the whole issue that took them there. Now, back to you, Mr. Adams.
Yes.
It comes now that we are here at the court.
Yes.
Another embarrassment for the club.
It's an embarrassment. It's twofold. I think the embarrassments are twofold. First, it's an embarrassment that the team was at the High Court. And it's an embarrassment for those that took the team to court. That's why I'm saying it's
twofold. Okay,
it's twofold.
And when that is happening, obviously NFA also is busy on the side. We hear that the first 3 matches are forfeited on 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 scoreline. Black Africa has to pay 100,000. Has that money been paid to the NFA?
My dear brother, imagine you punish somebody 100,000. And then you look at what is it that I'm actually getting out of this league when I win it. Is it 100? Is it 150? Is it 200? Does it really make sense?
And the grant, how much is the grant that you're getting?
The grant is it's 80,000 or 100,000.
For the whole year?
For the whole year. And you are punishing us 100,000, but it's probably in their constitution. Constitutions are there to be amended. And we hope that when this constitution is amended, they will look at that. It was not something good, and Black Africa, we were at a disadvantage
From the word go.
From the word go. We started at a -9 and a -100,000 Namibian dollars.
What was it paid? You haven't answered me if it was paid.
we are in negotiation to see how we can go about it. We have put in an appeal.
Okay.
Yeah, but now since things have come out the way it is currently, I think we will only concentrate on the appeal of the 100,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, fair enough. And obviously you are saying the team starts at a disadvantage, -9 points. The players also, there is a push and pull of the players. Can we use these players? Can we not use these players? Can we use this coach? Can we not use this coach? Can we use this uniform? Can you not use this uniform? The playing kit.
I'll tell you the whole story. Yeah. I said I will come here and tell it as it is.
Yes, please do.
To restore the raw of the lively lions.
Yes.
Imagine you love this team so much. You get so much joy out of this team losing because they are not using your players apparently. We have one set that a very prominent supporter donated to the team. There are 5-6 sets out there, beautiful sets for that matter. You refuse to give them to the team that is playing, and you are mocking the team to say, they're only playing in one uniform. But you are apparently supporters. You have the interest of this team at heart. That is not true. It cannot be true. It is not right. People must stop lying to themselves. Yeah. You cannot love a team so much to see the downfall of it, and then you get joy out of it. You are the first one, because there are so many social media football experts. That has never been on a playing field. Never. And then they are now all of a sudden the best knowledgeable on football matters and in Black Africa matters. Some of these people, really, I'm looking at them and say that I gave 10 years of my active life to this team. It's either you were very young when I was playing for this team, or you have never been there. You are just riding on this negative wave that is there around the team. Because some of these people I really don't know. Some I do know. It is true. They have been there. But then it really disappoints me also
to see them behaving that way.
To see them behaving that way. And this, some of them are even older than me. And I'm looking at them and say, my goodness, am I dreaming? Are these people really Black Africa supporters? Because trying to mock your team, you wish for the team to lose. And you are claiming you love this team so much. How hypocritical can that be?
Those fights, what role did they play in the performance on the field?
They brought a very negative vibe to the team. I had to always get out to the team before they entered the field when I had the time, because most of the time I have also other things that I'm doing.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would always get into the change room and to motivate them. And the one good thing of these young boys, very brave boys, is that they went out onto the field knowing about the challenges of the team. Yeah, but they were brave, but they are human after all. Yeah, so some of these affected them psychologically. So we do always get out and push them.
Yeah, no, true, because we saw one video. I think you traveled with the team, I think, to Kitmans,
Yes.
And you were at a rest place along the road. You spoke to the guys. I think they had lost the match. You told them, no, it's fine. Let's get together again tomorrow and try again, which is what would be expected from the chairman. And we applaud you for that, for making sure that you lifted the boys' spirit up. And moving on now, the court case is settled, and it comes in favor of you. That was, I think, in March, early March, mid-March. It comes in favor of you and your EXCO. What was the feeling then?
It was. I seriously don't know how to describe it. It was just a feeling of disappointment. I never.
What do you mean disappointment? You've just been at the High Court. Do you know how many people would want a victory at the High Court?
You see, I probably don't see it that way. Disappointed in the way that it had to get to there. That's why I was so disappointed that it came up to the. Up to now, I don't see it as a victory for us. I just see it as a restoration of justice. It's not a victory. What did we gain? We are sitting with legal costs that we are still paying today. And imagine we are paying it from our private pockets. Yes. So how can I be happy? I'm not happy about this, because it was something that I knew it would go that way. We knew that they don't have a case, but they had to make those that were supporting them believe that there is a case. And their case was the weakest ever. Yes.
So now you have won the case. You are disappointed. I mean, a lot of people, when they go to High Court, they always pray for victory to say you are not guilty, or this decision favors you, and you see them celebrating. Now, you don't celebrate. Did you reach out to the other function, or did they reach out to you?
No, we after we came out of court, we went to the police, because the bus was still there. So we had to get the bus and get going, because we had to go to Oranjemont. So we were always busy. So there was, like you are trying to say, that there was no time to celebrate anything. Because it was just a waste of time, waste of resources. Yeah, we up to now, I don't see it as a victory. It was not supposed to be. Yeah.
Was there any efforts now to reach out between the two functions?
I had to tell you all this, to bring it into perspective. What happened before? Currently, I've recently been added to a WhatsApp group by BA supporters, and we're looking at engaging each other. And what I've also said is that let's deal with Black African matters. Because if we are dealing with personal issues, you don't like me because I'm black. And that one, I just look at him, he's very black. Or he has big ears. Those are personal
issues.
Yes, I want to deal with Black African matters. So currently we're feeling each other to see that how it goes. But I'm here for the advancement of Black Africa issues.
Okay. Is there any opportunity of reconciliation amongst the two functions? By reconciliation, I mean, obviously there were court cases, the financial implications, there were obviously words said, maybe in public or in private, towards each other, which were hurtful. Well, the status of BA right now as it is not the right one in terms of the team playing in the first division. That's not the first division team, as far as I know, or as far as I'm concerned. That's a Premier League team. We should be challenging for titles. We could be talking about them playing in the cup competition that is going on right now. Along those lines, are there any chances that we'll see apologies from either side or both sides, or to say sorry for this, sorry for that, we were wrong here, we were wrong there, you were right there, we were right here, and people moving forward?
I think that what we must respect at this point in time is constitutional democracy. I will be a very happy person if we can abide by the rules of the constitution. Not to say that our hands of peace is folded. It's open. It's now for the other hand also to come, so that we can close these hands and move forward. Because Black Africa is bigger than all of us. We came here, we found this team, we will leave this team here, and the team will still be there.
Yeah.
So I am definitely not bigger than Black Africa. So the road to reconciliation is there. We have tried this before it went to the
High Court.
To the High Court. It did not help, because both sides were not trusting each other. There were always things coming up. If there was an attempt, then the other side will look at how not to.
But you know, I always say we have so many good football administrators in this country. I want to take an example of Mr. John Mourinho. He is used extensively in Africa for various jobs.
Yeah.
Was it not a wise idea to bring a person of his caliber, not necessarily him alone, but a person of his caliber, you know, or even an elder from Black Africa? I'm thinking at Tate Rasten Mohaye. You know, he's a legend with Black Africa. He's a legend in Namibian football. He's a man who, when he speaks, people listen to him. Was it not possible to bring people of that caliber, people of that level, to bring the two groups down and calm them down? Because for me, when I was sitting, I never attended any meeting. At first, I thought it was an issue of egos from both sides.
Okay. I'm a good listener.
Yeah.
I listen, and that's probably why some people would sometimes think that there is some weakness going on. I listen, and I usually don't respond to things that doesn't make sense. If it is senseless, why must you waste? I just leave it at that, because it makes you feel happy to say what you are saying, but you are just exposing yourself. We have tried from both sides to involve the elders to see how we can equalize things. And the name you mentioned, the Master Rastan Mokhane, he was also part of the elders. We have had about 4, 5, 6 maximum elders that had both groups on the same table. These are meetings that have 2 times happened at the boardroom at Club Thriller in Kadatura. So we had these elders, and every side had an opportunity to put their case on the table. Honestly, that also did not succeed.
Sure.
Yes, we had interactions, and then also in private, you would also talk to people. But you see, Marco, the one thing is that if you show and feel that you are better than somebody else, that already for me is a weakness. It's like it's like the great Bob Marley, the philosopher, known for his reggae music, said that some people are so poor, the only thing they have is money. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have this big ego attitude from some, and then the ones that they are looking down upon will just disappoint them with facts. So that's what I've learned in life. I've learned to listen, not to look down on people. Because that's the biggest mistake that you are making. If you look down on people, you don't know with what that person is sitting. Yeah. Now you think that because you put yourself up there, ne? I can also put myself up there. But where does it take us?
Nowhere.
Yeah, because if you go up, I go up. If you go up, I go up. Where does it take us? It just shows pure stupidity on both of us. Yeah.
Okay. Moving forward, the season has ended. Black Africa is still in the first division. We were looking forward to seeing them coming back, that is to the Premier League, but unfortunately it didn't happen. Where is Black Africa right now in terms of administrative wise? Football wise, we have seen what has happened, and it's fine. They're in the first division. Administrative wise, where are they?
Marco, man, why did you not congratulate us for remaining in the first division?
No, because
not relegated, man.
No, you don't belong to the first division.
Exactly, but
you belong in the Premier League.
No, one would understand why we are where we are with all these negative vibes around us. Yeah. So for us, currently with all the negative vibes and starting at -9, my goodness, with all the challenges that we are having, to still just remain there, that I mean,
it's a good job, eh?
Yeah, it's not an ideal
situation.
I acknowledge, but just to remain in the first division, it's
an achievement.
It's an achievement. But you ask about the administrator.
Yes.
Our administration.
Yes.
Our administration is currently in a very, very good space. I'm just coming out of an EXCO meeting as I'm sitting here. I am on my way out of this country to go and have deliberations with potential people. Now, if they invite you over, it means that there is some interest in, in what they want to do with us, and so I will, at this point in time, just leave it at that.
But thank you for sharing that with us, because we know that at least there is still that will or that push from the side of the administrators at BA. Going forward, what does the future hold for Black Africa?
I think that the future will be bright. I'm not hoping, I know that it will be bright. With all the plans that we are having, we will be having an AGM towards the end of October, beginning of November this year, and an elective AGM.
Elective AGM?
Yes, elective.
Who qualifies for that?
I'm coming there now. We will have the AGM in Korigas. Beautiful town in Kunene.
My favorite town, one of my favorite towns.
Yes, because me and EXCO, we just want to dispel this notion of Black Africa just being a Windhoek-based team. Because there are, these rumors flying around that, why are you taking the team out of Windhoek and so on? But the supporters are out there. Black Africa is not just having supporters in Windhoek. What about the other ones out there? Even when I got here to play for Black Africa, I was never told these things that I'm only hearing now from these young small boys that are talking so much now. To say that it's a Gemengde-based team, and it's like you must be from a certain race, and you must be from Windhoek. I mean, I can mention so many names.
That were not from Windhoek.
That were not from Windhoek.
That were not from Gemengde.
From Gemengde, but that helped to make this team what it is today. So that notion of everything around Black Africa just in Windhoek, no. We are a national team. So we will get the team out to the supporters. Yes. So our constitution is very clear on who will attend the elective AGM. Members and supporters. Very clear. And I love that constitution, because it speaks to the heart of Black Africa. It speaks to this thing of just having Windhoek-based people in Black Africa structures. No, it's not going to happen. It will be representative of the supporters of this country. Yeah, we are. Members will come from the regions. They will come and partake in the elections that we are going to have. We will announce the dates or the date at a time, very suitable time. Amendments we will do in the constitution. We will see how we will do it, and then we will take it from there. Because we don't want this team to be monopolized by some. That's what we don't want. Yeah, because whether you like me now or not, my name will always be associated with Black Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, you cannot take that away. I've won league titles, titles with this team. I've won Metropolitan Cups, the NFA Cup, Classic Charity Cup. You can just mention. I've won everything with this team.
And in terms of the plans for the football club itself next season, what are the plans?
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to divulge too much at this stage. I'm just coming out of an exco. He's still going to talk to some people in Cape Town to see how to go about it, how to partner up. It's a big brand that we are talking to, and we almost 85% there.
Yeah. In terms of the women's netball team, has this also affected them?
Yeah, no, it did, because everything has been monopolized. We will have a netball team. That one, let's also park it for now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we are at a very, very advanced stage to also register a netball team.
Mr. Adams, I'll give you an opportunity through that camera.
Yes.
To speak to the Black Africa family as a whole. And by the Black Africa family, I mean the players, the supporters, the officials, the sympathizers, and sponsors or potential sponsors. The floor is yours.
Okay.
Oh, it's the middle one. Okay, the middle one.
Okay, thank you. This is Tommy Adams. I'm the current chairperson of Black Africa. And I sit here as a humble servant of Black Africa Football Club that was established way before I was even born in 1964. I plead with everybody that is associated with this big brand or wants to be associated with this big brand with so much rich history. And that was also aligned with the ruling party in this country. I want to plead to each and everyone that our hand, like I said in the interview, our hand from Exco side is there. We need the other hand to close this hand. That's the only way that we will take this team forward. Reconciliation is a word, but the action is what we must do. So everybody, potential players out there, please come and join us. We will announce, trial dates and all these things, pre-seasons, we will announce in due course. To the elders of Black Africa, we all are involved in this team. We all, whether it's now the former IC and their supporters, our side, we all brought this team where it is. And it is only us, by holding hands and working together, that will bring this team to its former glory. And that is in the Premier League, to win titles like we used to do. Because there was always a saying when I was playing that every little cup or tournament or whatever that comes, Black Africa must always taste that. We want to have the vibe back, the Black Africa back, the BA, the Hossa BA back, the team to beat, the lively lines. That's what we want. But we can only do that if we leave all these little funny things out of the way so that we see the bigger picture. Because the institution called Black Africa Sports Club 64 is bigger than all of us, and it's also bigger than Tommy Adams. With that, I say, I thank you.
Mr. Adams, very passionate, a very passionate speech. I felt I was in church for a moment. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us. Thank you very much for availing your precious time to come and talk to us and clear this. I learned a lot through this engagement about BA, and for me, on my side, congratulations for surviving relegation, but I'm still not happy with the fact that the team is not in the Premier League. For me, that team belongs to the Premier League. It's a big brand. It should not be where it is, and I hope that you find it amongst yourselves as Black Africa people to work out things and bring the club to its former glory days. Mr. Adams, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Invite me back next year.
when you are promoted.
When we are promoted.
The day you get promoted,
Yeah.
you will be sitting here.
Thank you.
That's an invite. Well, that was a very informative, a very interesting edition of Game Time with Marco. Thank you to Mr. Tom Adams for coming through and clearing a lot of things that has been going on at Black Africa. And we're hoping that the club comes back into the Premier League. The club comes back to winning trophies. The club comes back to being the club that produced some of the greatest players this country ever saw. My name is Marco, and I'm signing out. Thank you.